What's going on, everyone? Welcome to AWS On Air live at AWS reInvent 2024. Well, we're not live. This is a recording, but we're here. I am here with my friend Art, and we're going to talk all about Amazon Connect. And we have some special guests from the Amazon Connect team here to join us. Art, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's always exciting to do some of these recordings. We both learn a little bit about what people are doing and some of the great technology that's happening out there. And this one is a particularly fun thing because I think that just at a human level, we've all interacted with call centers and things like that before. And I love some of the solutions that this team has come together to create. So I think this is going to be a really fun both demo and discussion with our guests.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of innovation over the past couple of years around Amazon Connect, and we have some really special guests here to talk to us about some further innovations using generative AI. So let's go ahead and bring them on screen. What's going on, everyone?
Hi. Hi.
Let's go ahead and introduce yourselves. That way everyone watching live can know who you are and what you're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. I'm Asher Bramwell. I'm a Senior Specialist Solutions Architect for Amazon Connect here at AWS. I've been working in the contact center industry for 13 years now, so I'm counting on toes because I've run out of fingers to actually do that counting.
Nice.
Hey everyone, my name is Satiksha Singh. I am also a specialist solutions architect for Amazon Connect. I've been with AWS, let's say, close to 4.5 years, and I have a total experience of 16 years in the contact center industry. So happy to be here today.
That's amazing. Now, both of you are members of the Amazon Connect team, and you're going to talk to us about some new features that are out, right? Which one of you wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay, cool. Asher, so you have this new feature that you want to talk to us about. Can you tell us more about it and what kind of problem that it's solving?
Yeah, well, should I give you a quick spiel of what Amazon Connect is first and then run into what I'm
Of course.
I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I know what Amazon Connect is, of course. Like, you're not educating. Let's go ahead.
So for the audience, I'll say Amazon Connect is AWS's AI-powered omni-channel contact center solution. It's an all-in-one application for your agents, your admins, your contact center managers, etc. I actually did a test a few months ago, and I was able to deploy a brand new instance in less than 5 minutes. I was able to build that, place a phone call, have it route to an agent in less than 5 minutes. And what we're going to show you today are some of our new generative AI features that we have in the product. So I'm excited to show it to you.
I'm impressed with the less than 5 minutes as well. I just, I think that's really cool that you're able to get all of that done with the call center and deploy the instance in under 5 minutes. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more as well about this.
Exactly. And I heard that you also have a demo for us too.
I do. So I'm going to run you through two new features that we have here in Amazon Connect. 2 weeks ago, we moved the outbound campaigns capability directly within Amazon Connect. And this lets you build out outbound campaigns for reaching out to your customers directly within Amazon Connect without using any other applications.
It's pretty powerful. I know our viewers love listening to that, but do you have anything that you can show us?
So what you're seeing here is the customer segmentation screen directly within Amazon Connect. And this is actually built on a product called Amazon Connect Customer Profiles. And this feature allows you to connect to your different source systems, your disparate sources of customer data, and actually bring that into Connect to create a unified object for your customers. In other systems and in the past, a campaign manager who was building a calling list would actually have to go into multiple different systems, extract that data, and then try to merge it and unify it to build the calling list. But now they have all of that information available to them directly within Amazon Connect. So let me show you just the creation of a customer calling list.
Yeah. I love the aspect here that this is simplifying it and making it easier for somebody to get started here too, right? I mean, that's one of the great things that we hear a lot of when we talk through new features, the making things easier for people to get started and removing some complexity.
Exactly. You just have to learn how to use this one system, and then in the background, everything is being updated and is up to date. So let's build a calling list of customers who have recently had a credit score increase. So let's say, give it a name, credit score increase.
I love the typing sounds too. It's like you actually typed that out.
I'm actually typing it in, yeah. So we'll start with every profile that we have in the system. So if I scroll up here, you can see I've got 1,000 profiles in here. But now let's add that filter. Someone who's had a credit score increase. So this is pulling from that unified customer object, and we have visibility into all of those attributes. So
you have increase and change. So you can select either one if you wanted to.
Yeah, so you have the ability to use calculated attributes, and that's one that I've set before that will actually be set to the credit score change. Or you can use hard-coded attributes. Maybe you have another system that's calculating that for you. So I'm going to use my hard-coded credit score increase, and let's just say is greater than or equal to 0. And let's have a quick look up here. Give that a refresh.
And 0 is the delta of the credit score increase, not the baseline credit score increase, right?
Yeah, so we're looking at an increase greater than or equal to 0. So anyone had an increase. Let's be a bit more specific and let's say 5. So just come up and refresh that again. You can see we're down to 213. Now, because we might be calling these people, we have to make sure that we're using a do not call list as well. So we're not calling someone who doesn't want to be talked to. So let's add an exclusion list and select our do not call list. Come up, refresh that. There we go. We have 129 customers who we can contact who have had a credit score increase. I can just go ahead and create that.
And then you can export that list, or like what's happening now when you create this?
Sure. So that list has been created. If I wanted to, I could export it and have a look. But what you would do is take this list and actually build that campaign to reach out to those customers. So we have a new section here, the outbound campaign section, and you could build a voice or SMS or an email campaign to actually reach out to those customers.
And will the data that you have here, Asher, get placed into the campaign? Can it be just moved over into the campaign directly?
Exactly. So this helps with the personalization of those campaigns. So you can use their name, any other attribute that might be valuable, and use that in the campaign. So when somebody receives that phone call, it could say, "Hi, Asher, congratulations. Your credit score has gone up by 5 in the last month."
That sounds wonderful. Now, we talked about how generative AI is powering some of these features. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. So why don't I just show you? We
Sounds
have
even better.
we have another new feature that has just launched. So this feature you just saw launched 2 weeks ago, and this other feature just launched. And this is generative AI creation of these customer segments. So it makes it just a whole lot easier to create. So the first one I will show you is generative AI looking at those unified customer objects to then recommend certain custom segments that you can create. So you can actually see on the top of my screen here a number of suggestions coming from generative AI. So let's have a look at the customers that have spent over $1,000. Click into that, and we can see that generative AI has just gone ahead and created that for us based on the recommendation. I did not have to manually enter any values here. It just went ahead and did it itself.
So how you did it earlier and you manually were selecting things, you're creating that segment. This new feature powered by generative AI can do that for you based on some parameters that you're configuring.
Yes, exactly.
Powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it really seems to simplify exactly what's happening here, and it reduces a lot of overhead for people, which is great. Love to see that. This is a great use of AI here to help customers.
Yeah, those suggestions might give you insights that you didn't even know.
Right.
Create lists that you didn't even know that you should be creating.
Right. And maybe even take care of parameters and stuff like that. So yeah, I love the idea here. And I assume once you open it up, you can make some minor modifications if needed.
Exactly. You can tweak it. It's doing that heavy lifting for you, and then you can come in and tweak it and add a do not call list or slightly modify the options. And if you wanted to create your own segment using generative AI, we also now have a conversational option. where you can come into the create segment option here, come through, you say, I want to generate a segment, and you can just enter a prompt for what you want to create. So let's just recreate the one that I made before, but let's make it a little more complex. So let's look for my customers who are enrolled in credit monitoring and financial wellness programs and who have had a credit score increase in the last month. So let's run that. And we can see that it has looked for people with credit monitoring set to true, financial wellness set to true, credit score change greater than 0. And something that I didn't even look at was they're checking to see if that customer is even active. And we can go down and have a look at the filters that it's created.
Wow.
That's really
This
powerful.
is really, truly impressive to me. And it's a great way for people to get started. I really appreciate going through this, Asher. And, I think this is a great way to get started here. So thanks very much for the demo. And I'm sure those of you out there will find it equally interesting and be able to get started here.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, Tatisha, do you have anything that you want to talk to us about with the features powered by generative AI for Amazon Connect today?
I actually have a couple of things that I would love to talk about.
Okay.
So these are 2 generative AI-powered features that we are releasing, which are a part of Amazon Connect Contact Lens. So one of those is generative AI-powered contact categorization, and the other is generative AI-powered agent performance evaluation. It's a mouthful, I know. So these are the 2 features that I want to discuss briefly.
That sounds amazing. I'm super excited. I'm ready to jump directly into the demo. Art, how do you feel?
I'm all about the demo. I come for the demos.
All right, let's go ahead. Tatisha, are you ready?
So this is let's say the admin configuration dashboard for Amazon Connect. So here, let's first touch base upon the contact categorization feature. So I'll give you a brief introduction to Amazon Connect Contact Lens. What it does is it's a set of AI-powered capabilities that provides you contact center analytics and agent evaluation capabilities for your contact center, right? So as a part of Amazon Connect Contact Lens, a very interesting feature is that you're able to create labels or categories for your calls or conversations happening within your contact center. So let's take a fairly simple use case. Let's say I have a retail contact center, and in my contact center, I want to be able to categorize or label all the calls wherein the customer is calling about product return. So what Contact Lens is going to allow me to do is to create predefined criteria in order to label those calls. So let me navigate to something called rules. So these rules are essentially labels, how you create your labels, right? So we have a product return use case, and herein, let's have a look at a label or a category that I've already created that says customer return. So now bear in mind, this is without generative AI, right? So in the absence of generative AI, for categorization, your options are you can use exact words or phrase match, or you can maybe even use pattern match. So as a supervisor, the onus is on me if I'm creating this role to make sure that all the exact keywords or phrases, related to this particular type of call.
So you have that overhead, and you have to configure it, and you have to make sure you're doing it. Okay.
There's this manual
You
overhead.
being the supervisor in this case,
Yeah,
right?
so the supervisor or the admin, whoever is creating these rules. Now let's take the same type of call. Let me navigate back here. And I have a role that I have created. Same type of, it is doing the same thing. It is categorizing product return calls. But you can see here, it is using generative AI, and it has completely simplified the rule creation. As a supervisor, all I'm doing here is I'm using natural language to provide, the filter criteria or the selection. That, for example, here, filter out all the calls wherein the customer requested a refund due to dissatisfaction with the product. So it is simplifying your supervisor's work. They are able to quickly automate any emerging issues, and it makes life easier for your supervisor.
And it probably cuts down on the amount of time that it takes for them to
Yes.
get a response, right? Pretty significantly. And I can imagine that supervisors in a call center may have to go through this sort of rule creation quite frequently with different types of events that are happening for products and things like that, where someone says, hey, my product, please get this information for me and provide it based upon what's happening. So this is, yeah.
And an important point is this gives you an opportunity to categorize conversations which were previously maybe difficult to capture. For example, hey, can I assess my agent behavior, that did the agent behave professionally during a call, or was the customer satisfied with the interaction? So these are all context-based and a little difficult to capture outside of generative AI. So they become easier and possible now.
Various options for the overall semantic score. Really cool. And I can see how powerful it is for generative AI contact categorization to help assist supervisors. But what challenges do managers have when they face performing these evaluations?
Evaluations or categorizations?
Categorizations, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So like we've mentioned, it's in manual work. It is intensive of the supervisor's time. So you're giving them the opportunity to, quickly and easily concentrate on emerging issues. And then they are able to, provide their time on other customer-facing activities or initiatives. So you're making essentially it's the supervisor's life easier here.
So
Wonderful.
I think
we have the categorization, but you also have an evaluation demo for us. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay.
All right. So this is where we talk about the generative AI-powered agent performance evaluation. So as a part of Contact Lens, there is also a feature capability wherein you are able to set up evaluation forms for assessing your agent performance. So with this feature, with the generative AI-powered evaluation feature, there are two parts to the experience. First is the admin or the form creation experience, which is what we are looking at right now. So when you're creating an evaluation form, what you basically do is you can create sections, and within each section, you can add questions that will be used for evaluations. So for example, you can see here that there's a question wherein we say that, did the agent properly greet the customer? So now you have an option to evaluate that, get the answer using generative AI. So it could be as simple as providing natural language instructions for the specific question. For example, we have mentioned here, hey, if the agent thanks the customer for calling, states their name and department, asks the customer for their name, mark this particular question as yes, right? So it's again a context-driven question. And now moving on to the supervisor or the quality analyst who will be assessing this particular, will be assessing an interaction, agent interaction. What you're seeing here on this screen, this is called a contact record. So think of it as a record that has all the metadata associated with a contact within Amazon Connect. And as a part of that, you will also have the ability to either start an evaluation or view the evaluation results. So as a supervisor, I can see that if a particular contact was evaluated using the form that you just saw, wherein we had used generative AI, you can see that this is how generative AI is, on the right-hand side, you can see it's able to recommend, provide recommendations for this particular question, right? Here it says, yes, the agent was properly able to greet the customer. But apart from that, it is also providing you context and justification for the answer, that if the answer was yes, this is why I believe the answer was yes. So you can see there's additional justification provided here. Yes.
Yeah, this looks, I'm sorry to interrupt because we're running tight on time here today, but this looks incredibly helpful, Aaron, to others. And to Tisha, thank you very much for explaining it. I mean, on the AI side, the improvement here is pretty significant, both providing, context for how a conclusion was made and giving that answer to somebody. I think, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. And I want to thank both of our guests here, Asher and Tatisha, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you both very much. Really appreciate walking us through the generative AI Amazon Connect features that were launched and released today. Stay tuned for more from AWS On Air at AWS reInvent, and make sure to click the links in the chat and also the survey. Thanks, everyone.
Again,
Thank you.